Okay. All right, all right, all right. We're trying to. Okay, I see you there. Okay, let's try to get you on here. Okay, I'm sending the invite now. Okay, just sent it. I sent the invite. Kenyatta, did you get it? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I did send the invite. Let me know if you got it, and we'll go on from here. Because I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight. Um, all right, guys, you all here? Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Okay, I see it has me live with you, but I don't see you on here. I don't see your face. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure this out, and we'll try to get on if at all possible. That would be great. I don't know why this isn't working because I just don't know why. But the invitation has been sent out. But I did want her to come on with me because I wanted a female's point of view, and we want to. Last week, and I'm really sorry about this, Kenyatta. I don't know why you can't get on. But last week we talked about the show Love is Blind, and we started on that series about, pretty much how these people had gotten together, and they were dating one another without seeing one another. And it it was just funny. And within 10 days, Kenyatta, can you? I see you. I see you all here. You still haven't received the invitation from me because I sent it. And if you didn't, see if you can request to come on. So these people, they were dating and they had to propose marriage within 10 days. And it was just, the show took, let's see here, the show took the country by storm on Netflix. The show took. Anybody? Do you all have any tips on how I can get her on? I sent the invitation, but she's not able to join for some reason. Um, the show went viral. It was a success all over the country and all over the world. And we talked about last week, in relation to that show. Are you ready for marriage? Are you ready for a relationship? We think we're ready, but sometimes we're not ready. We think because we're a certain age or a certain background that we're ready, and sometimes we're just not ready. Last week we talked about before entering marriage, you have to examine yourself, and that's what we do here at Checkout. We check ourselves. We examine ourselves. And last week we talked about, are you emotionally ready for a relationship or for marriage? Are you mentally, spiritually, financially ready to embark upon a relationship that, oh, you know what, John, that's a good idea. You're right. Let me check that. It may be because I'm on two devices. Let me see. I'm going to come out of this one and leave that one on. Let's see if that works. Just a second, I want to check one more thing here since I'm off of that one. Because I was on two devices. Let me invite her again. Okay. Hey, Lauren. Hey, my brother from Milwaukee here. Hey, everybody. Okay, we're going to have to figure this out because I got to have her on. And if we have to do it again next week, that's fine because we won't be done tonight anyway. I just hate that because I really, really need her on. And if we have to go take self-checkout on location, we'll do that too. So we talked about that last week. Are you ready? Are you spiritually ready? Financially, emotionally, mentally, are you ready to take that big step of commitment in marriage? Because marriage is not dating. Marriage is forever, for a lifetime. And a lot of people, they forget about that. It's like, because when you get married, you can't, you can't just throw it away because you feeling away or whatever. You can't do that. So you have to be ready. You have to be ready, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, ready to take on a task such as marriage. And in addition to that, we also talked about, we gave you some signs that you are ready, and we ended with some red flags that shows that you are not ready for, hey, Auntie Ronnie, that shows that you are not ready for marriage. Kenyatta, I see you out and in. See if you can request see if you can send a request to join me. Because I really want you on here tonight. So we talked about that and those red flags, and I want to touch bases on that tonight. That's what it was all about. From the reality show Love is Blind. Are we in an age where we'll do anything for love? That's a good question, right? Are we willing to put up with anything just to say that we have somebody? It's a serious, it's real out here, y'all, for real. It's real. Because in this day and age, I believe that it's happening. I believe it. That there are men and women who will put up with anything just to say that I'm married, just to say that I got somebody. And we find that people are, allowing themselves to be disrespected, treated like doormats and everything else, just so that they can say, I got somebody. And in self-checkout, remember, we're taking a look at ourselves. Self-check, we have relationships, some of us, that we put in our carts. And some of them need to come out because we're not ready. We're not ready. And if you get into a relationship at a certain age, you shouldn't be a serial dater. You shouldn't date one person for 6 months and then move on to the next one and then move on to the next one. When you get a certain age, you gotta play for keeps. You have to date with purpose. Hello, all of you guys that are coming in. So glad that you could join us. If you will be so kind to share this video. We want to talk all things relationship tonight. You have to date with purpose. Because listen, time is moving and it's not stopping for anybody. And you don't have time. I don't have time. None of us. We don't have time to be playing games with people. This is life. This is real life. That's right, Phyllis. You have to date with purpose, because if that is your plan to get married at a certain age, you ain't got time to play no games. It's real. This is real life. And I read an article in. I'm not going to finish all this tonight, and I'm glad I'm not, because I need to get with Kenyatta Shepherd. I need to get with her. We'll touch bases and we'll get someplace where we can. I will take self-checkout on location just so I can have her on, because I need her to talk about this from a female perspective. There are some red flags that men and women alike ignore, and it's concerning because, hey, Rosalind, how is it that everybody can see these flags from the person that you're dating except you? I question that. So I read an article in Psychology Today, and it talks about these red flags. And get this, the article says it's essential to get to know yourself in every possible way before you move into a committed relationship. Often individuals go in search of a relationship without this essential knowledge. But how can you ever hope to know another individual if you don't know yourself first? Right? That was good. How can you address someone else's needs and desires if you're disconnected from your own needs and desires? We want to, you want to please your mate, your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever, and get in touch with them emotionally and however else, but you don't know how to do that for yourself. Listen, before you can be married, you need to know how to be single. It's a way to be single. You got to know how to be single. It's not just a state of being unmarried. We know that. But you need to know how to be single. And another thing, a side note, being single, I'm sorry, is not overrated. Being single is wonderful. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you no different. You should not be depressed if you don't have nobody. You shouldn't be sad if you're not married, if you're not dating. Listen, you should be living it up if you are single. You should be so happy being single that when he or she does come, you like, man, now I'm having fun living my life. You know, we need to know how to be single and enjoy that. And as obvious as these issues may appear, and as much as you may feel you understand them intellectually, it should come as no surprise that what initially seems unimportant may take on a greater significance as insights occur over the course of the relationship. In retrospect, individuals are often baffled about their own behavior and expectations in a relationship. So, if you're serious about somebody, it's not. It's, in my opinion, it's not wise for you to just figure it out as we go. No, you need to have some conversations before you get to that step. You need to have some conversations. And I can't hit all of the red flags, but I want to touch on some of them. And we're gonna finish. We're gonna come back next week, and we're gonna talk about this some more. Because we got these relationships, it's self-checkout, you in my line, okay? And I'm telling you that some may need to take this relationship thing out of your cart until, number one, you find out who you are first. And if you know who you are and you're in a relationship and everybody is kind of people that care about you, that you trust, says to you, girl, you sure he the right one? Listen, my mama used to say something a long time ago. If everybody's saying the same thing, it's probably some truth to it, because everybody ain't lying. If I was at church, I would say I can't get no help, but we ain't churching tonight. So, so listen, some of these red flags. One of them is the person that you're dating. Are they irresponsible, immature, and unpredictable? Are they irresponsible, immature, and unpredictable? Some people have trouble mastering basic life skills, taking care of themselves, managing their finances and personal space, holding on to a job, making plans for their life, for the future. Some people have problems doing this stuff. They're irresponsible, immature, and you have to look at these things before you commit yourself to marriage. Is the person that you're seeing, do you see any of these traits? I mean, yeah, there could be potential, but it's got to be more. You can't marry potential. This got to be the real deal. You got to be ready. Are they irresponsible? Are they immature? Are they unpredictable? Can they take care of themselves? Come on, Dana. Can they communicate and comprehend? All of these things are key. All of these are important. Can they talk? Do they know how to communicate? Can shut down every time something happens? Communicate, talk. And not only communicate, but understand, comprehend. Every week I say this. You have to have these conversations. You have to have these conversations. Listen, if you're dating somebody and they can't take care of themselves, they can't take care of you. That's simply put. They must be able to take care of themselves. I believe that you would want to meet somebody that's established enough already in adulthood. We're not teenagers. In adulthood, that they're already taking care of themselves. They already have their own house or apartment or condo, whatever, their own car, their own money. They got their own already and are doing fine without anybody else. When you come along or when they come along to you, they should be an addition to what you already have. You should not, y'all let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, tell me how you feel. You shouldn't, be looking for somebody to complete you. You should already be complete when they come. You should be complete when they come. They should be responsible. They should be mature. They should not be unpredictable. They got to be ready when they come to you. Because at our age nowadays, you can look at a joker and you can tell by the way they walk. No, you ain't the one. You ain't ready. Y'all ain't saying nothing. So that's those are red flags. Immaturity, irresponsibility, and unpredictable. Another red flag, lack of trust. When a person has difficulty being honest with himself or herself, it may be hard for them to be honest with you. If they will lie to themselves, they will lie to you. Simply put. And why we're talking about this tonight is because we have people already in relationship that are dealing with these things, and they see these things and do nothing about it. do nothing about it, and will act like they don't see it. And this is a problem because if you're going to go and grow together, eventually, as married couples, you'll have children, and then we raise up children. So pathology. We raise children to do what they see us do. So now, because you don't trust each other, now your kids have trust issues. Come on, because they see it in the house. They see it in the house. When you cannot be honest with yourself, you will not be honest with your spouse or your significant other. It doesn't work that way. Can you trust the person that you are with? Can you say that you fully trust them? Can you say that? If you cannot say that with a surety, you may want to take some steps back and examine this red flag. Why don't you trust them? Is it hard for you to trust them? Why? You got to take a step back and examine that. And I kind of touched on this a bit earlier. Another red flag is when significant family and friends don't like your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, your partner. When you have significant family and friends, if there's something off about this person, and it seems obvious to those who know you so well, you may need to listen to what they're telling you. Now, you have to use discernment with that too. Because I'm going to say this. And y'all let me know if I'm right. If you're dating and serious about who you're dating, and you have your single people who don't have nobody telling you, girl, no, you should leave him alone. You got to watch that. You got to watch that. Because they may be the cleanup woman. They may be waiting. They may be waiting for you to leave him so they can get with him. Hello, somebody. How y'all doing? Can you hear me? All right. Yeah. But if significant family and friends sit you down and say, hey, listen, be careful with this one. You might want to pay attention to that. That's right, Dana, take heed. If more than one person says that to you, there may be some truth behind what they're saying. Another red flag, your spouse or your significant other has a dark or secretive past. And I'm gonna talk about one more, and then we're gonna recap this next week, and we're gonna discuss other red flags because I'm going to find Kenyatta Shepherd, and we're gonna talk about this. Another red flag, does your partner have a dark or secretive past? Behaviors that are suspect. Illegal activities. Addictive behaviors. Hey, my cyber best friend, Shirley, thank you for joining. That have not been resolved and continue into your relationship are obvious red flags. But you shouldn't ignore or excuse anything that strikes you as strange or makes you feel uncomfortable. When we first came on, we talked about, are you the type of person that's willing to put up with whatever just to say that you got somebody? If your significant other seems kind of suspect, you might want to check on that. Dana says, add how is his relationship? Thank you, absolutely. That was one of the flags too. I was going to get into next week. We're going to talk about it more next week, but let's touch that. Who you're with. Let me come back to that. Let's finish this one up. Illegal activities, addictive behaviors that haven't been resolved. Listen, again, I can't say it enough. Have these conversations. When you're dating someone and you're serious about someone, You need to know about their past. Yes, you do. You need to know about how they lived before they met you. What did they grow up? What did they do? What were they into? You need to know this type of stuff. Because you can't go, oh, Kenyatta, I know you do. I wish you could come on. You can't go based on looks. Girl, he fine. So what? Fine, do illegal stuff too. Huh? Fine can be suspect too. Hello? So, like, the addictive behaviors. You need to look at that. You need to take a look at that. When you walk in a room, fine and crazy. That's right. Fine and crazy. Shirley said the finest will trap you. But you know what? And Shirley, that's true. Kenyatta, that's true. But here's my concern with that, Shirley, because I believe that some of these people, men and women alike, are being trapped willingly. It's okay with them. They can see this stuff and be like, okay, it's cool. It's all right. Fine and abusive. Come on. Abusive. But these are some of the things that people put up with just to have somebody. Just to say, I'm married. Just to say, my husband this, my wife that. But you willing to put up with abuse? Come on. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. Abuse is abuse. But we're willing to put up with it. Come on, this is self-checkout. Have you ever looked at the person, not now, if you're married, I get it, you cool now. But have you looked at, think back, have you looked at a person that you were dating and was like, you know what, it's just, something ain't right about you. Something ain't right about you. And I was going to say a few minutes ago, if you walk into a room and they're on the phone, and every time you walk into the room, they hurry up and get off the phone, watch that. I'm helping somebody today. Yep, you will put up with all of this just to feel loved and accepted. See, this is why, I go back to what I said earlier, this is why you have to be whole already. You have to be complete already before you meet him or her. Because you don't, listen, you gotta love you. You gotta accept you before you want someone else to love and accept you. Come on, you gotta get your self-esteem up. So where you don't have to, you don't have to desire the love of somebody else. You gotta love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, how you gonna love somebody else? Right? Now, there's one more thing I want to look at, then we're gonna talk about a few things in here. Another red flag. A person's, and this is where it may get a little sticky. Now, before I read this, before we talk about this, let me go back to my show, Love is Blind. I hit on it a little bit last week. One of the couples on there, Carlton and Diamond, they ended up engaged on this show after, I think it was 5 days maybe. He proposed marriage to her. And after that, they meet and they hug and they go to, I believe they were in Mexico that next day or whatever. And they're having a conversation. And he's like, telling her, yeah, it's something I want to talk to you about. Mind you, remember, they've been dating before they saw one another, and he proposed marriage to her. She said yes. But after they are engaged, he says, yeah, it's something I need to talk to you about. And he then says to her, I kind of, sort of, go both ways sexually. He said that he was fluid. That's what they call it nowadays, fluid. So here's my question. Should you go into a relationship without revealing your past sexual partners? Somebody talk to me about this. Red flag, hello. Somebody talk to me about this. Come on. This is serious business. He obviously likes this young lady. Yeah, Dana, that's what they call it now. They don't call it bisexual or whatever. They call it fluid. They can go any kind of way. Fluid. That's this new age stuff, these millennials. He had plenty of time in their dating process to let her know that this is what he was about. And here's why I say that. Because you, whether it be male or female, I don't care what gender it is, you have to have, enough sense to give the person that you're dating, give them that choice. Let them know up front. Dana says, yes, if it's the opposite sex. If it's opposite sex, give me the option. That's exactly what I'm saying. Give me the option to know if this is what I want to deal with. He took away that choice from her because he didn't tell her until after they were engaged. Needless to say, the engagement was called off. They said some things really bad to one another. He talked about a wig being pulled back, and she said some bad stuff. He took the ring and threw it in the pool. It was bad. If you haven't watched the show yet, you need to watch it. So you need to, I think in this case, if it's marriage involved or engagement, if you have, I'm trying to say this the right way. If you are dating or have dated the other sex, or the same sex rather, you need to tell who you're dating. I just think you need to say that. Because, yeah, he did. He tried it, Shirley. Yeah, he did. Because, listen, you cannot play with people's lives, because that's what's happening. People's lives are at stake. You can't mess up people's lives like that. Kenyatta Shepherd, we were on a post together a couple of weeks ago, and I believe it was a young lady that asked, it was a general question, she asked why are single people, why we are not married right now. And I told the truth. I don't want to be married right now. I'm not where I want to be. To whereas I want to be married. And I said this, if I married somebody right now, I would mess up their life. I don't have enough money. Come on, my house not big enough. Come on, I don't have the right car. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be trying to marry nobody. And I'm honest enough to admit it. I'm not ready. So relationship is not in my cart. I'm sorry. It's not. And this is where the problem is. Because we have people that are getting married and they're not honest with themselves or the person that they're married to. They're not honest. Give the person, oh baby, yeah, it's all right. I'm happy. I'm happy and complete by myself. I've been married before. Yes, I have. If I don't get married again, it's okay. Because I'm complete. I'm whole all by myself. So we have people in relationship, in marriages, that are lying to one another. And let's just put this out here, and I'm going to be done in a minute. Let's just put this out here. Last year, in March of last year, I did a panel discussion, The Front Line, on love and relationships. And we talked about this, and I remember saying it, that in the church, especially in the black church, if you get to a certain age, like 30s and 40, and you're a man, and you ain't got no wife or no kids, the first thing they gonna say is he must be gay. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Hello? You 30 to 40, a man in the black church, no wife, no kids, the first thing they put on you is gay. Y'all say something, cause I know I'm talking right today. And it's a double standard, because if you have a woman of the same age group with no husband and no children, they'll say, "Oh, she's just waiting on God." See, that's not right. How come he ain't waiting on God? Why does he have to be gay, but she waiting on God? I can't, y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me see some comments here. Who's talking about this? Kenyatta said, getting married and moving into their mom's apartment. Oh, yeah. Yep, it's the truth. It's the truth anyhow. Because all the men that's in that age group are not gay. Right? Some of them, come on, let's just be honest. Some people, and you have to come to grips with this. The church, the black church, has to come to grips with this. Some people just don't want to be married. And that should be okay. That should be okay. There's a lady, that's right, Mama. It is a double standard. And it's stereotypical. Because, see, and preachers got this bad. Black preachers, not all of them, some of them, got this bad where, oh, you're a preacher. It just looked right for you to be married. It just looked right, man, for you to have a wife. You want somebody to have a wife that bad to where you don't care if it wrecks her life or not. You don't care if it wrecks the children's lives or not. You just want them to be married because it looks right. That's got to stop, y'all. That's got to stop. Because if they end up divorced, if they end up divorced, then the story changes. They should have never got married in the first place. Come on, say something. Talk to me on here, y'all. Hey, Sam, thank you for joining. Yeah. So, we can't pressure people into getting married with all of these red flags. All these red flags. And I'm sorry, some of these, because it's not just the men that have these red flags, it's some women too. And this stuff, y'all, everybody is not blind to these flags. Some people are just in denial. Some people are just in denial, and some people are saying, I'm going to stay married. I don't care what he do. I don't care what she do, because I ain't finna be embarrassed by getting no divorce. Y'all ain't talking to me. Hello, anybody still here? Let me see. Woo, boy. These red flags, man. You gotta have the conversation. Gotta have the conversation. I love you, right? But, okay, do you love me enough to say I'm not ready yet? Come on. Do you love me enough? Do you love your partner enough to say it's not time? I'm not ready to get married. Come on. Do you love yourself enough to say I'm not ready? It's self-checkout. Take it out. Take it out your cart. and stop settling. And stop settling for anything and anybody. So desperate to walk down the aisle. Because that's what it is a lot of times. It's desperation. Desperation, desperation, desperation. Desperate to walk down the aisle for them few hours. Oh yeah, we coming back next week and we're going to recap this and we're going to talk about some more. Listen, come on, talk. Can y'all love me enough to wait? Love me enough to wait. If you are not ready, don't do it. Don't let nobody push you or pressure you. And stop shacking. Dana said stop shacking for years and you ain't ready. Well, see, Dana, that's another reason why people ain't getting married. Because they've been living together for years. That old saying, why buy the cow when the milk is free? Come on. Yeah, Shirley, that's right. They're desperate because of what they see other people do. And nobody, I believe this, nobody likes to be the third wheel. When all your people go out and they booed up, and then it's just you and your iPhone. So it's like, ooh, I gotta hurry up and find me somebody so I can have couples night out and all that. But you find somebody and you're miserable. Because number one, you could be being treated horribly by your spouse. Or two, because you know you wasn't even ready to get married. And you did it anyway. Because you think that this is the right thing to do. Because people are telling you that this is the right thing to do. Recognize these red flags. Love them enough to wait. Okay, y'all, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Love them enough to wait. Because you will mess up somebody's life. And if you know you'll mess up somebody's life and you go into it anyway, how dare you? How dare you? She said buttermilk, Dana. Listen, we're talking some good stuff on here tonight. I want you to share this video. I'm going to jump off in just a few moments, and because we're going to pick this up again next week. We must continue this. We got to continue the red flags because that's a big one that we need to talk about, and that's communication. And we're going to hit that on next week. That's right, Shirley. Stop ignoring these red flags. You have to stop. You know? Listen, especially my ladies. You cannot want somebody so bad that you'll ignore all of this stuff just so that you can say, I got somebody. No, precious, you are more valuable than that. You are more valuable than that. Okay, wait a minute. Toya said some people don't like to be alone. They have to be with somebody and with absolutely, Toya, that's right. That's right. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem. You're absolutely right. That's a big problem. People don't like to be alone. They don't like to be alone. So they'll settle. And they're vulnerable. And they're desperate. And watch this. If you get around the right person, man, woman, whatever you're looking for, it's spiritual too. A man can pick up on that if a woman is weak and vulnerable. And they'll prey on you because they can sense it. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me in here tonight. They can pick up on it. And because you don't want to be alone, you go right along with it. And then you get what you get. Sam Hewitt says, let me go back here. Sam says, so the subject is wait to get married or know the warning signs of red flags. It's the latter, yeah. Well, actually both, because you should wait to get married. You shouldn't just rush into it as soon as you meet them. We're getting this from the show on Netflix, Love is Blind. If you all have not watched it, you need to watch that show. Love is Blind. It's on Netflix. Taking the world by storm. So yeah, you shouldn't jump the broom too fast, Sam. And you should know these red flags of the person that you're dating, because you may need to take a step back and say, yeah, this isn't good for me. We got to have some conversations. So you don't want to ignore those red flags. Shirley says, then you crying later saying, I thought he loved me. Respect yourself enough to know. That's right. That's right. If you cannot be too desperate until you'll jump at anything, and then you end up paying for it in the long run. I totally agree with that. Kenyatta says you're going to get the same results you get when you run a red light. Listen. Sam says people only do what you allow. And that's right. And that's why we're having this conversation tonight. That's why we're having this conversation. We're on it last week. We're doing it tonight. We're going to continue next week. People only do what you allow. So my question then, Sam, is when is enough enough? When is enough enough? We're talking about these red flags. When is enough enough? You see some stuff before you say I do. Don't act like you don't. I'm not saying you, I'm saying it personally. But we see stuff and we ignore stuff, and then when it gets out of hand, now we want to address it. No, address it in the beginning. Address it in the beginning. Because if you allow it, as you said here, if you allow it in the beginning and don't say anything or act like it doesn't exist, it'll keep going, right? So yeah, talk about it in the beginning. You're never alone when Jesus is near. Tap into him. That's right. Use some discernment. You gotta say, if you run that red light, you're gonna crash. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're running red lights with these relationships because they want somebody. Because they want somebody. Or they want some sex. Y'all ain't saying nothing. What Paul said is, the Bible said it's better to marry than to burn. Yeah, it did say that, but you have to look deep into the context of what that means. All right? Just because you hot in the pants don't mean you're just supposed to get married right away either. And you ain't got no job, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no nothing. And you're living on your mama's couch. You don't need to get married. You ain't ready. So was this good tonight, y'all? Was this good? I hope it was good to you, because it was good to me. And we are not finished. We're coming back next week with more of this, more red flags, more relationship talk. Kenyatta, I sure did miss you tonight, but we're going to work this out so we can get together. Toya says, yes, a man will only do what you allow him to do. So stop settling. That's right. Stop settling. See, you won't settle when you know who you are. You got to know who you are. When you don't know your own worth, that means people can put a price tag on you. And that's what you become. You become what they say you are when you don't know your own worth. Yep. Stop settling. The right way. Dana, I'm not messing with you. I'm not bothering with you, Dana. Yeah, man. So we're going to finish this up next week. I think we're going to finish it up. We're going to talk about it. I don't know if we'll be finished. But I want you to tag somebody's name in the comments that may, that's single, looking for a relationship, or, in a relationship. You see maybe something may not be right. Tag their name or share this video with them, because we're just trying to help people, man. We want to really help people. And one way that we could help people is if we have healthy relationships. It's okay to be single. Yes, it absolutely is okay. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. When I feed me, I feed my whole family. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the single life. I enjoyed the married life. It didn't work out. Okay, it didn't work out. Now I'm single and I'm living it up. I'm living it up. Fear is a scare tactic. Of course it is. Yeah, it is. But we have to tell the truth about this stuff. So I want you to share this video, please, and don't forget my ministry. WTM is hosting. Thank you, Mom. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. If you haven't shared, please share. I want to invite you to our very first Leadership Summit, Sharpening Our Swords Leadership Summit SOS, Saturday, March 28th at 11 o'clock a.m., featuring our keynote speaker, Archbishop William Hudson III. Want you, Monica. Hey, Monica. Monica says, single is not a bad thing. However, I'm waiting until it's my time. That's right. That's right. Single ain't bad. It's not bad. It's not bad when you love you, when you know who you are. Come on. It's not bad. And when the time is right, God will send him to you. You just have to be ready. We got to be ready. We want to be ready, but we don't want to be foolish. Come on. Don't want to take anything. Check them out all the way. Come on, check them out all the way. All the way. All right? So, again, I lost track and I'm leaving. Saturday, March 28th, the Sharpening Our Swords Leadership Summit. I really, really need you guys to come out to this. If you are a leader in business or in ministry, or if you would like to become a leader in business or in ministry, this is for you. I want you to come. The registration is $35. It includes a reception. We'll feed you and everything. But if you text me or inbox me, I will give you a special discount on the Leadership Summit because I really want as many of my friends and family there. All right, so listen, I got to go. So join us next week. We will be back next week, and we probably will be on location because I am going to get with Kenyatta Shepherd so we can talk about this. Share the video. Love you guys. This is Self-Checkout, where we take an honest look at what's in our hearts, minds, and spirits. Until next Thursday, I'm signing off. I'll see you next week on Self-Checkout. Take care.